Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Lorcana Lost Chapters. I am your host, Chad Lavola, and with me, as always, is Dalco Phipps.
Hello, hello. Hope everyone's doing excellent today. Great day for some Lorcana.
Yes, sir. I feel like we actually haven't uploaded a video recently. That is definitely apologies due to the community and all of our viewers and watchers. We tried to do a video, but we just noticed that there's just way too many good cards in this winter spell set to sit here and talk about in one video. Every time it was almost like 3 hours, and we weren't able to break it up. So instead, we're just going to go over some deck lists today that we think that are going to be pretty good into the meta. Um, Another thing that we actually had going on this past weekend is we did have a PPG qualifier. I was able to go with my friend Jaden as well. We went to Greensboro, which was a super awesome time. It was at Dragon's Horde. Dragon's Horde is a card shop, a local card shop in Greensboro. They have a lot of card shops up there, but this is a special one because it's home to Team Ohana. Uh, Great competitors. It was a great store. They have a great community for Magic, Lorcana, of course. They also do Riftbound, Yu-Gi-Oh, the works. It was a great time, and they definitely have some great food places up there as well. But the great news is, while we were there, we were actually able to both top four. Jaden was able to pull out the win. He got first place. He
Let's
has his first round bye for the PPG Pittsburgh. So definitely
let's go, Jaden.
shout out to Jaden. My man killed it. I actually lost in top four against Zarek. He was on Blurple. I was playing dogs. And I was just not there. It was not a good game. I'll tell you that. But Jaden definitely pulled through. It was a great time for both of us. Again, we were able to get the prize supports, as you can see. We got our pins, our lanyards, and as well the mat, which you have one of these as well.
Correct.
I will say this though, I am a little disappointed in the mat because when I had seen them offering mats for the top 8 pins, lanyards, all that's kind of cool merch from PPG, um, I thought we were going to be getting the cloth mats.
Super nice PPG cloth mats.
Yeah, like and when we went down to Orlando, great event, and that was one of the things that they were giving on the prize wall was the blue one, which was super cool. That was what everybody was after
They're
in that
beautiful.
event. But they also gave the new one, which was the green cloth mat for PPG. That's the one I actually thought they were going to be giving out in these golden kits, but unfortunately, we learned that that was not the case. But Jaden is also on dogs. He took dogs. He was able to pilot it all the way through. We ended up getting paired in round two, which felt super bad, man.
The
And
boys.
oh, it was so bad. And we ended up even talking. It was like, man, do we draw and just try and win it all the way out? And I just think it was just too early in the tournament to just pull a draw out. I just didn't want both of us to end up having to pull through. So unfortunately, that was the downside of the tournament. But ultimately, great time, great people. We were able to hang out with again people from Team Ohana, great people. But other than that, it was it's about an hour and a half drive. It was actually a little less, hour and 15. So it really wasn't that bad of a journey.
It's a good weekday trip.
Absolutely. But we definitely, while we were not playing Lorcana, we definitely pulled out some Riftbound just to pass some time. And we talked about a little bit for this new set coming up. A lot of people were curious to see what everyone else was going to be playing. Which again, we definitely do have a little bit of a treat for everybody today to go over some of the deck lists. And actually, we've made quite a bit. I do want to jump into yours specifically. I definitely do like uh, the color choices. You have red, yellow, which I think a lot of people have been talking about. I think yellow is the big talk of the town right now through Winterspell.
Absolutely. Everyone wants to play a little bit of Amber.
Absolutely. And again, I see that you have the card right here. The biggest talk of the town is Mother Willow. So let's
She's
go ahead
just
and walk through this deck list. What is? I'm gonna hand over the reins to you on this one.
yeah. This deck is really around the Grandmother Willow, obviously letting you get those bigger characters out sooner, but also the Ruben Mulan combo. If you can start this out in your hand, and this goes for any red yellow deck, I highly recommend trying to throw these in to reduce the cost. If you're able to get something that can sing the song to then lower something else, you just creating a chain reaction of all your characters cost 2 to 3 less each turn, so you're able to drop, the Shift Mulan to clear out these other aggro decks, Stitch, Carefree Surfer to get your draw up, Headless Horseman's also very good into the aggro matchups. My little thing I put in here was the Goofy. It was to re-ready the Ruben, that way they can't trade back into it, and it works really well on the curve. It's kind of like the old Lilo, but you just play this and you're able to ready any of your characters. That way they stay up. You'll get another challenge out of your Liquidator. It's been an MVP. I'm just going against a whole bunch of Amber decks, a whole bunch of Daisies. That card just eats them.
This card is the
And
scary one if you
then,
have Daisy on the field.
yes. And then you have stuff like for draw the Ohana Means Family. I've really been trying to play around this card a lot. A lot of people forgot about these Rapunzel traps we used to set back in the early days, where they would just leave a character exerted with 3 damage. It doesn't matter how much damage it has now because Ohana Means Family just draws all of that damage off, and then you get a card for each one. So all your high health characters, they essentially cannot turn sideways when you have a Stitch Carefree Surfer or your Mulan out because you're just going to get too much value.
Absolutely, I can definitely see that. I do like you have the Horseman Strikes as well to be able to deal with the evasive characters as well as you have the world's greatest criminal mastermind. Uh,
Yes,
one of
it
the
pairs really
things.
well with the one drop just to give their other character support. Kind of answers anything that has 3 attack or more. I haven't really been using the Horseman Strikes a lot. I feel like it's really becoming dead. I mean, obviously, once we get back into the real meta, purple's probably going to take over again, so it'll be really good again. But everyone's having fun and testing right now, which means you're not seeing Genie, Elsa, that kind of stuff.
Right,
So just think
absolutely.
about that whenever you're going to your tournaments. What do you think the room's going to be? This card is for that purple meta. So if you're not expecting a lot of purple steel blurple, Horseman Strikes could definitely be another character to help out, especially with the Bambi and things like that.
Absolutely. What do you think about Grab Your Bow?
Two of it's really good. You're able to get your 5 cost out pretty early due to all the character reduction you have in the deck, and you can kind of just leave that card upright to sing your songs if you need to, and grab your bow. I mean, all one drops are essentially super effective in today's meta. All of them have either support or they're questing for 2. So if you're able to get those before they can quest or help the other opponent, it's almost just never a dead card unless you're going into one of those super grindy control matchups.
I do want to harp on one of the things that you had made mention because the more that I do look at that, it is just such a stat line. Well, like your play line is just actually insane if you're going against a an
Aggro
aggressive
deck
deck. Yeah, if you play the Mulan and then you follow it with Ruben, and then even if I'll give you the worst one, which isn't it's not bad, but we'll even say
is
you
a
get
goofy.
yeah, let's just even say you get Goofy out on turn 3. Um, being able to
He's five
ready
five.
yeah, he's a 5/5 that quests for 2. That's a huge body. You ready the Ruben, and then you can actually do the same thing next turn because you could actually challenge now with the Mulan. And let's say you didn't even use the Ruben, or not the Ruben, the Goofy. You use Ruben to eat up the counters again that's on this, drop anything that's even bigger, or even shift on to the Mulan. And still have grab your bow up. So I definitely do see the lines that could just really just blow like a dog deck or an amber steel deck out of the water, which is kind of impressive.
And then Slushy again, a 4 cost. I'm just trying to put stats on the board. If you go down, the new Slushy evasive, a 4 cost 5/5 that has evasive. This card has just put in so much work, and they just almost never want to go sideways because they know you're going to get value, if not from the Ruben, then from the Ohana Means family. So it
Oh,
just
absolutely.
completely destroys the aggro decks.
A 4 drop 5/5 is a crazy stat line.
Yes.
Absolutely. And again, I like the Bambi in here that gives you that ability to start getting cards back into your hand, replenishing. I do see the Minnie Mouse Bodyguard. Okay, so this is what when we're going to be starting to start turning our aggro on.
Yeah, the Minnie Mouse has honestly not been that great in my testing, but it just Looking at this card, it has to be good.
I mean, if it sticks and then you start turning cards sideways, I can definitely see where it starts to become a problem.
Yes,
Yeah, I definitely do like the deck. Again, Akud Imuti. Akud
I'm
et
telling you.
Imuti. Akud.
Yes.
Okay, we're there.
And just a cool thing for Bambi, I don't know if a lot of people are tracking it. It's when that card becomes exerted, not when it quests. So whenever you sing with this card, you just get a lot of value from it.
Ah, I do like that. That's
Yep.
actually
And then you
very
can always
sarcastic.
reread it with the Goofy on curve. That way you can keep your recursion and your card draw available at all times.
Yeah, you do have a lot of damage cards that you can really get a lot of pluses off of with the Ruben, with again the Ohanamin's family, even with the Prince John as well. A 3-drop 5/5. You want the damage counters on there as much as you can. So definitely do like it. Definitely like it. Let's move on to the I think what I would consider your pride and joy.
I'm trying. One day it'll be good.
This
It's
this
almost there.
this could potentially be it as well. We'll move on to green purple. Uh, we got 51 characters. We got 8 items. Okay, so let's take go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, I think the more on the lines of an aggressive deck here. Really, you're just utilizing all the new boost mechanics. Some of the standout cards that are going to be new are the Alice, the 4 cost Alice. Uh, it's really synergizing well with all the boost cards you have. The Donald Duck is kind of the MVP, which you're looking for to always drop on turn 4. It just puts more cards underneath your boost characters, and then you're going to try to win the game either through controlling using the purple cards that you have, or the Little John with the item
Bagpipes.
uh, bagpipes. So this card essentially boosts a card for free, and then whenever they challenge a card that has a card underneath it, so it could be either a shifted or boost card, you gain a lore. So if you're able to go aggressive on the play, you can just play your bagpipes, boost something, and you're going to get lore regardless of however they get rid of that character. If they challenge, sorry.
I definitely do like it. The one thing I noticed about this card too is it says whenever the character is challenged. So the only way that this is a real downside is if they're actually able to play Strength or He Hurled or as somehow like a Maleficent or for
Yeah, but
after
you
this.
already usually you're getting your value from just getting the free boost.
Oh yeah, getting
So
a card underneath a
being
card is going to go crazy, whatever it is,
yeah, this with like Little John, I mean, you get 9 lore that turn.
which is
It's kind
outrageous.
of yes. If they do not take out the Little John on play, which there's a lot less purple, so a lot less Elsa's Demonas, and really this card is at the perfect stat line of 4 or 5 to get around that Criminal Mind.
Definitely, definitely. I did see that you have the Ursula as well in here. And we have the
Yeah,
Janie.
Ursula hasn't been the best. It is a great stat line, but I just think we need more stuff to fight the board in this deck. Is what I'm kind of looking for.
I see you have the
Do you have
Mulan
the
and the
move?
Tramp package.
I think if you're playing green, you have to. It just could close out a game at any point.
Having again, like you said, even with John, if John can get 9 lore in one turn, and then you have Mulan that gets you that 6, you're at 15, man. How hard is it to get 5 more extra,
Yeah.
poke damage in there?
I mean, it might even be better to just take out a lot of the late game stuff like Demona and Ursula and just throw in some roses in this deck. Things that's just going to get you lore gain.
Absolutely,
But you do have to get to 6, which really hasn't been that hard due to the Webby. There's still a lot of blue decks out there, and if you can get that Webby trigger off once, you just save so many resources.
absolutely. And the ward just does come in so clutch sometimes.
Yeah, and then that forces the lore gain from bagpipes
Yep.
if you have a shifted Webby.
Yeah, the only thing I was what it just came to me is the Goofy, the Emerald Goofy that whenever he quests you give character ward for the turn.
Ward and a quest for 3, yeah.
Yeah, that was the other. That was my only thing I just thought about whenever I was like, oh, we got to keep Little John alive. I could see that.
And it's on curve. All the 5 cost goofies, because there's 2 of them that are really good. You have the champion and the one you mentioned that give your other emerald cards ward. So
It's
they'd
huge.
have to have two answers for each one.
Absolutely, and it puts him in that again, like you said, that factor of oh, well, if he has bagpipes or multiples and they challenge, you're gonna gain the lore.
Yes.
It's huge. It is huge. And I definitely like the Junior Woodchuck guidebook to be able to get some draw power going in here. And then the Alice again, getting that refill. How's the Genie been test playing?
Genie's pretty good. I don't know how much I like it over the. I was just trying it because it's a new card. A couple times it'll give me 2 to 3 lore, but they're usually taking it out that next turn and leaving 3 damage up, as we talked earlier with the Huanmin's family. Usually not the best idea.
Absolutely not.
I think
Unless you're
I'd.
playing the Go-Go's. And even Go-Go's a potential in this one maybe, but I don't know, that Amber gets a little scary if like you're saying, leaving that damage on the board cannot do
It's
us.
so rough this format to leave damage hanging around.
Especially even with Cat being able to play around with it too. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and I've used Cat a lot more just to uh like I move 1 damage off a 2 damage character just to spread it so they didn't get that much value. If you have nothing else to do, you might as well.
Yeah, right. I like that. I like that. Rafiki 2 for the 1 drop, and of course Flynn. Awesome. Fantastic, man.
Yep.
I like this. Again, I'm excited to see how this ends up playing for you as well.
Yeah, I imagine I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more aggressive, but then you run into the problem of you're probably not as aggressive as the green yellow decks.
Right. Because in some actions, if you ever get paired up, you still want to be able to combat them. And I do like the fact of having Tramp in here to be able to give certain attack to get over those big butt units like Daisy or even
Mm-hmm.
anything three or four, or pushing six on dogs. It's just big. Sometimes it really does matter instead of it being two.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, probably switching out the Ursulas and maybe the new genies to get some I could see shifting Genie for the Rose and then the Ursulas for Elsa's because it's why am I not playing Elsa's in a purple deck?
Right. I mean, the card is just too busted, man. Being able to turn cards sideways is just too good. All right, fantastic. All right, we'll move.
What do you got for us?
Well, it just depends on what flavor you want to go. I think we'll start. We'll just kind of go down the list. We'll do purple
Okay.
steel next. This list I have definitely been testing, and I think this is it's. I think purple steel is at a point too where you could add almost anything in there, and I'm almost to the point where I'm going to call it a toolbox deck, where you have your shell and you got that 6 to 12 cards, and even that's still a lot. I would still lean more on the 6 cards that you could switch out
Yeah,
to make it, I guess, your own, or depending on what meta you're going to be playing in. Um, but
I
we
see you got
pushed.
my favorite card in here.
Oh, hold on. Yes,
There
sir.
she is.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me guess it.
And with
Yzma.
Angel,
Yzma
I'll let you
has
talk
been.
about it. I can see where you're going with this.
Oh man, I think that this card is more than necessary now. But we'll just go down the list a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I think we swapped out the Gantus with the Palace Guards with the Gantus. It takes that one slot. A 3/3 that discards a card is a crazy stat line. But it also feeds into the Yzma plays later. We kept the Black Herons, Calhouns for the 2 drops. Again, you're just trying to hit curve.
Mhm.
The 3 drops is where it got a little not clunky, but I wanted to make sure that we still had a little bit more room. We kept the cats in, Cobras of course, and Lexingtons. I'm adding in the Angela. This card has at first I didn't think it was necessary because of the gargoyle characters losing the stone by day ability, but the one thing I like about it is giving the challenger and resist on play. This card actually does do quite a bit of work when you are going against dogs, and they start off with the daisies and you have to play, the hook, or if you have the Olaf, this character gives you that ability to get that 4 damage over to be able to kill stuff, and as well as it does keep certain things alive in mirror matches and things in that nature. Um, for the 4 drops, I went down a genie for the Sven. It's been for the test playing. Sven has been crazy. When I do draw him, it's
Yeah.
always in the purple matchups, and I'm killing Elsa's or I'm killing a genie, which is just so good, man.
Can you
Um,
see playing more than one? I mean,
I do like the card. I just don't know about where I would like it. I think in the Blurple, that would be a different conversation because of when it comes down. It's just a card that deals with something right then and there. I think getting the
Yeah.
4 ink sometimes. Uh, since I've been playing Purple Steel, I've noticed that if I'm on the play and you want to be aggressive and discard your hands for docks or for Yzmas, your inkables really do matter. I've been into a couple scenarios where I looked at my hand and I'm like, oh, I got this Dock and Genie and I have this strength and I'm on turn 4 and it's like this is my hand and it
It
it it does
feels
hurt.
bad.
Yeah, it does, because then it's like, do I ink the, it makes you ink the strength. You got to play the genie. You're holding on to this dock. Do you play the dock to just try and get rid of some cards? It becomes a crazy little stat line where it really is the what if. And I've noticed too, purple steel does not thrive when they cannot get cards in their hand. Um, I was playing against a dog deck last week play testing, and I found myself stuck at like a point where I was top decking, and I was only at 4 ink, and it was just horrible because in that matchup I was trying to play into the Demona, but now it's like a play draw aspect where I have to draw a card, look at it. Is it something that I actually need to play right now, or am I going to risk putting it in the inkwell? It just became a very like it just felt really bad. So for the uninkable reasoning, that's the only reason why I was testing on one. And I took the slot of just the genie, just to counteract the um, mirror matches and anything else Blurple wise. And again, and Blurple, we'll definitely get back into that on this card. But Yzma, I think you definitely do need 4 of, absolutely. The Angel card is, I just think the card
So
is
good.
nuts. I just think it's so good, man. And every turn, just being able to, even if you can't kill something that turn, putting damage on it.
Hmm.
I know we definitely talked about leaving it up is rough, but it's the fact that you can put a 2 turn clock on a problem, or
Yeah.
just put just the right amount of damage to be able to use your Cheshire Cat to move the damage, or kill a Hades, things that are just a little bit bigger, that, or even a Tramp that's turned sideways. Being able to put the 2 extra damage on it to kill it with a Lexington or a Cobra is very big. The other cards we were testing out is Marshmallow. I have it in there just because the stat line of playing Marshmallow and then playing Demona is just a automatic win.
Yeah.
I mean, it
They can only
is
ready one character and you're
it
drawing
is
cards. That seems like the play.
it is just outrageous. That combo is crazy. I only have the one in there because again, uninkable, and sometimes you would prefer to have situational cards in a sense where this comes into play. But mostly just standard is how I'm kind of looking at it, adding in the Marshmallow, the Sven, Angela, and the Angel. But the Angel has definitely been like a wow card in multiple different avenues for me.
Okay.
Um,
Are you so you're not playing any Fire the Cannons in that deck?
I am not. I don't think you need it because of the Angela.
Okay.
She's a walking fire the cannons. Um, Also, just with what's going on right now, I do think that where your stat line is for 1 and 2s, the only thing I think you need fire the cannons for would be the Amber Steel, which I do think is going to be prevalent. But these are cards that are going to be able to deal with them anyways.
Yeah. Okay, that's more fair. I was just thinking for I think the Amber Red deck, the one I showcased earlier, is definitely become a little more popular. And then just to kill all the willows that are going to be out there. I've just heard a lot of talk of
Ah,
people adding Fire the Cannons back in.
actually, you know what? I didn't think about that. I do think that I can see that in. If I were to put Fire the Cannons back in, I think it comes down to, because we're at 11 on Inkables, and I would end up. Hmm. If I were to add it in, I think I would end up potentially taking out the Sven,
Okay.
and then I would potentially. Do you cut the Yzma? I don't think you do. I think
No, I
Yzma.
think it's just too strong in this meta.
Yeah. Another card I could think you could take out would be the Angelas at that point. Maybe
Okay.
keep the Sven in, take out the 2 Angelas, and go up to 13 on the Uninkables.
And that's just something to think about if you're thinking about bringing Purple Steel, what you think the room's going to be.
Absolutely. That was a good point. And it depends on how much of the illusion still plays. This deck is not playing anything other than the Cobra instead of playing Iagos.
Mm,
I just couldn't fit in the Iago. I felt like, don't get me wrong, when it hits the board, it is an absolute problem. but I don't know. That is a good call for Fire the Cannons to come back in. I can absolutely
Yeah,
see it.
I think around 1 to 2 is definitely probably something Purple Steel's going to want to do. Because I mean, if they're able to, if dogs or anyone's able to spread out their board before you can interact with Elsa, is kind of the problem.
Right.
And if they're able to get to that Rockstar Stitch before then, they might be able to get too much value for this deck to fight, which is crazy to think.
Yeah, I think I would actually bite the bullet, take out the two Angelas, put in the Fire the Cannons. 100%.
Okay.
Absolutely. That was a good point. Good point. Definitely be playtesting that. Let's see what else we got cooking over here. We'll talk about the fun deck actually. So I made this one.
No nonsense.
I made this. Oh my gosh. I updated it a little bit today. Um,
No one drops.
no one drops, man. I was going crazy brazy playtesting. I think the funnest matchup was actually Blurple, and that was the only one that was really giving me more of a hard time. I just think it was more of the comical factor that I had like 22 ink and they did not. They were still a little bit lower. But Cheeches to me, the draw engine was crazy. The Ludwig's, most of the cards that we ended up adding in here was more or less just full of just ramp princess cards to abuse Cinderella with.
Okay.
Um, it was kind of crazy just to go turn two. If you don't have the Chicha line, again, you can just go from Tipo to Cindy. I've been a huge fan of Moana, but I think the MVP comes down to Pete. Pete is just an outrageous, crazy card. 5 cost, 5/5, and boost, and just always replace a card. But it's been so fun playing this deck. I think the other MVP would come down to Spooky Sight. This card has been amazing in multiple different avenues, whether it's ramping me or being able to deal with dogs. You get all of the answers now because you have, like you had in yours, red yellow. It was World's Greatest Criminal Mastermind, Horseman Strikes, but we also do. I am test playing Raging Storm, and it has no problem getting to that point. Um,
Oh, I can imagine.
it,
And then you can just drop a Hades after that. That probably feels really good.
Yes. Again, I'm only playing two Hades. Again, it was more or less the uninkable count is high. But one thing I did notice about this is you have so many ways to be able to get around the uninkable problems. Now, I'm not saying that you won't brick. That I won't say. The other cards I would potentially take out of here would be Chicha. Um, I don't know if you necessarily need it, but it is just outrageous whenever you just have it. It sticks. They don't get rid of it, and you're just drawing so many cards.
Yeah, I think Eloise is also a big consideration for any blue yellow deck.
That's a good point.
The 2/1 princess support, I think it would synergize well.
Absolutely. Again, with the support play, it is a one drop. It is inkable. That is a very good point. Bell has been amazing. Again, Kita's. Um, to me, this was just a filler spot. I think again, it is really good. It is a princess. I think you're more or less just abusing the fact that if you get Cinderella out and they don't deal with it, you are just every single turn you are just inking a card and just replacing itself. Um, and then it just gets to a certain point where you might have little dudes out and you can quest with them. You can make them do, a little bit of pecking damage. But with the support onto it too, you can do some really cool stuff with it. It gets to a certain point where the deck is dealing with problems very well. I
Now, I
think that
definitely think there's a world where blue yellow is going to be a contender of this format, probably in that I would say like A category, not a S tier deck, but an A category deck. I think it'll definitely see some representation of the bigger tournaments.
yes, I see a lot of people online talking about it. A lot of people on X, they've swore that they have broken the formula with it and they're having a great time with it. I actually think it's more impressive for the fact that Spooky Sight now is being played way more than it has or been talked about being played more with this color line.
And they're still playing four Mowgli's.
Yep. But this has just been a little bit of a fun deck, I will say. I've definitely had a good time playing it, and I've won way more games than I thought I would have. So that to me, it's got
And
there's
who
something
doesn't
is
love
there.
Disney princesses?
All right, you're playing a princess deck, Raging Storm. All right, we'll jump out of this one. This is my take on dogs for this format. I have
This
so
is what
many.
you played this last weekend at the PPG event?
This no, not this deck list. I do have that deck list I
Oh yeah,
could
never mind.
show.
This is at 11. I
But
gotcha.
I have way too much to say about this deck, and I think what we might end up just having to revisit this next episode, and we can really just grind down on some key decks. But this is my take on it. I have done multiple different takes on it. The biggest changes out of the deck that I played versus this deck has been taking out the shift webbies, inserting the grandmother willows, and inserting the mulons. I played rhinos because I do again big under the sea Della rhino, being able to control the board that way. And I inserted one more just one Jamba, and went down a Raja. But I am this card to me. I will say this. Try to keep the tangent a little shorter this time. Uh, I think this is a great card. I do. I think that you can do so many cool things with this card. I just think that sometimes when you commit to this card, you definitely do lose a lot in return. Um, and what I mean by that is there's some matchups with dogs that, well, dogs in a whole as a deck. I think that, and I've always said this from day one, every card in your hand has to do something. You cannot have dead cards in your hand. It's horrible. That's why I didn't believe in playing Chromicon and playing Under the Sea. I think the times that you top deck a Under the Sea, it's a dead card in your hand. You can't do anything with it. The next turn you draw Emerald Chromicon. You're so far behind in the actual game itself when there are certain matchups you need to be able to be aggressive. Um, Mother Willow does allow you to play a tramp a turn prior, and it does give you a little bit more on like the higher stats. You can do cool things with it as well by bringing a Lilo back. For one, if you have two of them, you can play it for free. That's nuts. But the issue is when
Agree.
you're giving your turn two up for a Willow and not getting lore when you need to can cause you to lose so many games. And
I can see that.
that is where I've test played both. I have been in scenarios where I look at this card and I'm like, oh, this is cracked. But at that same time, I could look at this card and say, man, if I had a 2-1 drops on turn two, the game is auto like it was way one prior. So I think that coming up to dogs and talking about them for next set really does come down to what are you trying to do and what I guess what do you want to do broken stuff and look cool doing it, or do you want to win the game? I think is where it would really come down to, and that's just my full take on this card. Um, I can see it in much other decks. I've seen different variations of the dog decks going to Rockstar Stitch. That is busted. I have seen that, and that is crazy when it happens. But I
That's what I
just
was gonna say. Is I've seen a lot of the Rockstar Stitch builds, and it seems like you're not going that route.
no. I think that you don't need to. I do. I played actually at the PPG. My friend Rigo had his built proxied out and just test played a little bit with it, and it is nuts. It is, but you are giving the ability to pass the turn. In certain decks, it's not what you want to do. You don't want to leave cards up that are exerted to be able to draw cards. If they can't deal with it, oh, okay, well, now you're just going for broke. But when they can, it is very detrimental. I think what I would do, honestly, is I would end up, if I did, the changes that I would do is potentially taking out the Mother Willows, adding in either the Merryweather's back in because the Mulan is absolutely broken of a card, um,
Yeah,
or just going back up on the Raja, and going a little bit more on the Della and Under the Sea. The reason why I say that is because I actually think that in this next set, and these next big tournaments that are coming up for like CCS and things in this nature, when Winter Spill does hit, Ink and things in that nature, I just think Amber Steel is going to be crazy. I think Amber Steel is what most of people are going to be playing. And if that is the case, this card right here is actually what's going to win you more games
Yeah.
than you'd think. Um, so that would be my suggestion. But way more play testing to go through. Again, the card's cracked, but I'm just still a little not sold on dogs just yet with this card.
Okay.
Um, but let's jump back out. We'll talk about the Blurple. I think this is my second favorite deck out of everything. Dogs and Blurple is where I am seeing myself next format. I love what Blurple has gotten. I always think it was a really good deck. I think the issue that a lot of people didn't do was play one drops. I think they were very big on playing Royal Guard and Basil. Um, I'm big on four Rafikis. I put two in here because I'm test playing. A couple of things. Uh, Isis, I think, is absolutely amazing. I think being able to
Better
go,
than Sven?
yes, this card
Okay.
turns cards sideways.
That's fair.
I think this is the biggest issue with Blurple. It was the fact that Blurple cannot handle wide boards. So when you can stop the problem right then and there, it pretty much solves the problem. I
Yeah.
think some decks, what they would do is they'd kind of just go wide and never turn cards sideways. This, while I've been play testing, it makes the cards go. You make the cards go sideways. Most of the biggest changes I think were the Isis Vanderchill. Definitely playing the Marshmallows because again, if you can get this online with the Demonas, it is crazy. Even if you don't
Yeah,
have
you just
Demona and you have Marshmallow and you quest, it is a big deal.
okay.
Um, I'm playing two magical maneuvers again. Being able to exert cards when you get to choose is just busted.
Hmm.
Um, I put the Let It Goes in because again now you have another way of being able to remove cards, which I think is just exactly what Blurple did need. And I'm test playing the second star on the right to be able to keep up with the draw. Of course, I'm still playing the Junior Woodchuck's guidebooks. But the only card I would take out right now is this card right here.
Is
I'm
it just
actually
telling you to go fish every time?
Yeah, I think that this card is actually more hyped than it used to be. I think giving Blurple more cards in hand is a very scary thing, so it's almost a win-win.
Yeah.
And it's a 5-drop. It can sing Let It Go, which is amazing. Um, but I'm just, I think that this card might be getting cut soon. I could see it going down to 1, maybe.
Yeah, the only thing that I will say is I'm pretty high on Sven, which I think if you're playing Sven, you might be able to cut down to your one drops, which I know you're not a fan of. And then for the second star, I just was so much Amber. You know everyone's playing Mowgli's.
This is very true. I think that that card can absolutely be cut. I can totally agree with you on the second star. And I
Yeah.
think I think I could also cut this card, go it down to 1, and cut this and put this fence. I think that is exactly. I think that's. I like that. Um, Playing the 10-1 drops is, I think,
It's probably needed in this meta for
a
sure.
necessity.
Yeah. I just love Sven because and you're only playing three Cheshire Cats.
Yes.
Okay.
The issue that I have is it's either cutting Dumbos down, which I think the problem lies is when you, as a Blurple player, are in a scenario where you have minimal cards. This card, it actually happened in top four where Derek was in a situation where he was able to kind of deal with the board. He had the Dumbo. I
Just
passed the
got too many cards.
I passed the turn, and he just said, "I'm going to draw 5 cards," and that card alone gave him what he needed to be able to deal with it.
Oh yeah.
I was at 19 lore, and I just needed one card to stick, but Dumbo gave him the 6 cards that
There's a
got
reason Dumbo's still $40.
correct. Absolutely. So I think it is a little tight. I can see people arguing about the one drops. I've just seen so many times going into Blurple, playing dogs myself. You just need to have a turn 1 play. You just have to.
Yeah, and something I like to point out is the reason people usually go to four Royal Guards over the Rafikis is if they're playing four of the item. So just think about that when you're building your decks. Is this is what really enables that the octopus?
Same thing with the hypnotic. I mean, being
Oh
able
yeah,
to hypno on turn two sometimes is not a bad thing.
no, yeah, and you draw a card, so it's going up to a five attack character. That's kind of wild.
Yep, you're being able to kill a lot of things. Yeah. But I just think in the next meta that you, as a Blurple player, being able to skip to turn four and being able to turn cards sideways right off the rip. On turn three, if you went, we'll even say Royal, like Rafiki, uh, I'll even give you the Tebow
Tipo,
line, sure. And then you went Isis and tapped down a card and killed something with your Rafiki, and the next turn you played your Elsa and tapped something down and then killed it with the 4/4. The game's pretty much set in your favor.
yes,
So I
especially
think,
against these amber decks.
right. And I think the lines that this kind of creates now with this card really does set you up for the aggro. And if you're not playing aggro, you go back to the genie line. So I'm actually pretty excited about the Blurple. I definitely do like the input on taking out the second star, and I'm just not Hades is just not doing it for me right now. All right, let's move on to what else do we have?
I think the
Uh,
blue steel would be a good one.
yeah, these are gonna be the next two. So I don't know what it is, but this is actually my favorite funnest at the moment. But we'll go over the set
This two
11.
four six.
Yes, 246. Um, it's a little bit different than what I've seen so far people play. I do like Moana if she's able to stick on the board. Being able to ink from anywhere else other than your hand is such a big, big move. You're able to keep all your resources instead of having to ink your 7 drop because you got to ink a card. You're able to ink from the grave. I think is an amazing thing. I've had great success with Belle. She keeps the ramp going. Um, Playing the Namaris, playing the Jasmines, playing the Moanas keeps your Cindy alive. I think that being able to continuously ink and draw is, again, it is a crazy engine. Um, the Plutos, they get you there sometimes when you're starting to do math and you can start
Oh yeah.
killing some things off. It is the aerial version. We have the Goliaths, we have the Tinkerbells, playing one of the Arthurs. Um, I think biggest thing is just Let It Goes and the Bells and Moanas from this one, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with Moana in my testing is that it's really beneficial for blue to play the develop brains and visions
To get the cards
because
in.
sometimes you'll get to the point of dropping her on turn, we'll say three or four, but you have nothing in your discard where those cards do provide that.
No,
Just something to think about.
it's a very good point. If we did that, then what would you? I think if that were the route, then taking out the, but I'm much faster. I think I would want to put the ink caster or the ink runners in.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that
it's
would,
hard with the aerial build because the song count definitely matters.
right. So we did get Let It Go, which is a big deal.
Oh, it's a very big deal in this deck. I mean, you're able to play more Let It Goes, maybe drop down the Arthur. The Arthur was really there to
Take down
kind of make
the.
sure yeah, I mean, that gets a 7 cost uninkable. Maybe even drop a Hades. I mean, you're going to be able to answer those ready characters with aerial. That's kind of the objective of the Sonic Boom deck, if you will.
Yeah, okay,
Just
I can
something to think
absolutely see
about.
that. Yeah, absolutely. I like that a little bit more. Maybe actually take out the. Probably wouldn't need the bells then. Probably get rid of the bells. Go down to Hades. We're at 3. Take down the Arthur would be 4. Put in 2 of the ink runners. I'm debating if we would actually take out the but I'm much faster. So if we did, then we could even put in the develops. I'm debating about if we can really get into 4 and 4 for the develop in the visions.
Yeah, I mean, Vision, I think, just puts in a lot of work, especially with the deck that usually you have an answer in the next 5 cards to get the board.
If that were the case, then you probably wouldn't even need the Jasmines then, because if you play the Ink Runners, you can pretty much make everything
Yeah.
evasive. So then Jasmines come out, Bells come out, so that's four. But how much faster would be six, and then take out the Arthur for seven. I would probably be able to play with, ooh, and maybe one Pluto, and then you can get your eight and go four
I
and
don't know. That
four.
Pluto is so good.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
both effects are just very relevant.
Yeah, you have a good point. Sometimes this is the hard part is really trying to. Actually, you know what? I'd probably go two beyond. I can see that. Take out one additional beyond. Go down to two. It's so rough.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing 4 Goliaths. I think going down, I'd rather go down one beyond than taking out the, but I'm much faster's.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, I can see that. Get down to the 8 and put 4 and 4 in here. I like that much better.
Now let's get to the fun one.
Oh, dude, I don't know what it is, but this is like this has just been maybe I'm just a very lucky guy on allies, but the ally version, I don't know what it is, man, with the new cards that have been printed out. They're
They're all
just
allies
they're all allies. Angel's an ally. She puts in so much work in this deck. Pete is an ally.
for
Scuttle's
some
an
reason.
ally. I've loved this deck. I just
And
think
I
it's
think
just
this deck utilizes Let It Go so much more. You know what I mean?
yes.
With Goliath, it's oh, you don't even play Goliaths.
I do not, man. He's not an ally, and my biggest problem with that so far has just been Pete has done much more for me than the
Okay.
Goliath. And the Goliath is good to be able to keep your opponent's hand size down. The bad part is when they're doing exactly what you're doing, sometimes it could backfire.
Oh yeah, especially against all these aggro decks. You know, they
Yes.
drop their hand on the board and you have to answer it all.
But I will say this: if we put in the Goliath in this version, the Angel definitely does keep getting the discard fodder, which is very relevant.
Hmm.
But oh man, I don't think you need it. What would you take out? Scuttle just to me is too good. Having warded characters is just too good sometimes.
Yeah, it depends how relevant Chromacon's going to be. Whenever I play Blue Steel, I think Scuttle was kind of my Scuttle and Kita were like your Chromacon answers. But now you have Let It Go. I don't know if you need it as much, and I don't know if Chromacons need it is going to be played as much. So maybe look to cutting those. I think this deck could almost use Fire the Cans as well, because I feel like if you can just answer 1 or 2 characters early with Fire the Cannons in this deck, you're probably going to win the late game regardless. So that's something to think about, and it just helps out the math for like Tinkerbell with a lot of things.
Yeah, one of the things that I had a really hard time when I was putting this deck together was there's just too many good cards, and it does have weird lines.
Okay.
I'm not playing Cinderellas at all. It's one of those you're playing Jasmines. You can use the ability. It's uninkable though. But being able to go Jasmine, shift Jasmine if you have to deal with an answer right then and there, or he singing He Hurled His Thunderbolt to just kill off the Daisy right then and there is a big deal. Um, Even being able to quest just to get a card and then inking next turn and playing Peekly and getting you there, like to actual ramp yourself, I do think
Hmm.
the biggest issue with Blue Steel as a whole is you have to be able to get to six as quickly as
Yeah.
possible.
You gotta get that Tinkerbell on the board.
And again, being able to shift Jasmine, quest, get a card out of add a card to your hand, ink a card, quest, get one more card, and then playing a Peekly gets you there. I mean, so fast. So that line, that stat line is already there for the play. Um, Again, I've just seen so many times where I didn't even almost have to ramp myself with the Peakly. I could keep the Jasmine there and just play the Lexington and play like you know, just the mid-range game. Again, playing
Yeah.
it and with Angel, you just always have cards to use her effect. So I don't know. It's been such a weird range of play lines, but it's been so good. Um, but this has just been such a fun deck to play. The win rates have been absolutely crushing it for me. This has been probably the most deck I've played online. I just can't. I think it's just like an inner battle right now of saying, what am I going to play? Would I really play Blue Steel Allies or would I play Blurple? I think that would be like the real hardest question for me right now.
We all know you're playing Amber Steel. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm touching that one. That I won't be. I'm trying to play what beats Amber Steel. But right now, yeah, those would be the actual decks. Since it's up here, we can actually just go over what I played. It's nothing too crazy. I think it's pretty much the same that we've kind of like dellied up. Again, we played the
It's
rhinos.
your set 10 list, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I took for yesterday's.
Still a Dapper Rascal Believer, huh?
Yeah, I will say that if I were to cut any other card, it would literally be this one. It's just it's a card when when you need it and you're in it. It's ridiculous. If this card goes off, it's crazy. But there's just too many things that they just remove this card out of the way, and especially now that they're coming out with the bow. I mean, this card will never see play. I will not play this in
That's
this set.
fair.
I will never.
Yeah.
But nothing too fancy. The biggest problem was in top four. I just made so many misplays. I inked Adela and he plays Iago. You know, like things
You're
where I
like,
was
oh,
like, I just was just so not in the actual game itself. Wasn't thinking at all. I thought I actually knew what he was playing too. I knew he was playing Blurple. I watched him play, and then we sit down. I'm like, he's on green blue. You know, like I have Daisy in hand, and then I have Lady, and for some reason I played Lady, and I didn't play the Daisy, and he
and he
goes,
goes Rafiki.
yeah, I was like, what am I like? I just wasn't in the game. But
It's all right.
yeah, it happens. Can't win them all. Great player and definitely wasn't able to pull it out. But all in all, great event. These are the decks that I think are going to be somewhat popular. Another thing that's cool about Dreamborn is you get to see what other people are also doing. It's a good starting point. One of the decks that I saw, I think we were actually looking over, was this one. This one looks very interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand how this deck wins, but they have a whole research over there.
How do you,
How do you say that one?
not gonna say it. I'm not saying
Darkwing
that.
Duck guy.
That's the fake Darkwing Duck. That's the opposite of Darkwing Duck. Before two stat lines are really good. I can see that pretty much to me this deck just kills aggro. That's what I'm looking at right
That's
now.
that's its job.
Like I think this could definitely be something for the new red purple, and it just kills aggro. Only one evasive that I see is the Savage
Hey, they're playing the
Hunter.
new Wreck-It Ralph. I really like that card.
Four magic feathers. Holy cow.
And they're
I
playing
guess.
4 graveyards for the Wreck-It Ralph. Have you seen that combo?
Oh my gosh, dude. Look at this. This card gives +1 for each card under him, and when this card is banished, banish all cards with attack equal to or less than the banish. That's nuts in my opinion already. And then the graveyard will say, whenever you move a character here, put the top card of your deck under this location face down. And at the start of your turn, you can put all cards from under this location to your hand if you do banish this location. So
Oh,
what
that's not.
is...
There's an item.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I was going to say...
There's some item out there that will banish Wreck-It Ralph the turn you play it.
Oh, okay, and then banish everything with... Okay,
Three or
that's
less,
kind
yeah.
of nutty. Seven though, four of them. He plays four of these. It's 7 drops, uninkable. Ah, I guess I can. I guess I'll look at this as like the be prepared. That's how I can kind of look at it.
Yeah.
Demona's Headless Horseman's. He's got the queens to be able to draw cards.
No shift
Hades,
line for the queens though.
no shift lines whatsoever. But man, I will say from turn 1 to 3, this guy is just throwing out big-bodied people. Goes to a 4-1. Yeah, wow. I would hate to be a dog player and play against this though. I'll tell you that. Oh, let's look at what they have over here for Mr. Lunchtime. He's got Ellen Wees, Mulan's, Grandmother Willow's. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Mowgli's. He's playing the Rubens.
Got to.
Bambi's. He's
Bambi.
okay.
He's on two of them.
He's on
Oh, I don't
two.
play. That's how I play. Choosing. Okay.
That's actually
Lower
pretty
attack
neat.
for your.
Is he
Yeah, that's
playing the?
definitely good for the Headless Horseman.
Yeah, he's not playing bows, which I'm actually pretty surprised about. Judy Hopps.
Maleficent. I feel like Maleficent's just too slow in this meta.
Yeah, that is a lot. Unless you're playing against blue decks that are being able to ramp you,
Yeah.
or if you're getting spooky sided. Um, all right,
He's not on
okay.
the Goofy tech yet. The 5-drop Goofy.
He's not there
It's
yet.
been so good.
He's on slushies though.
Yeah, Slushy's amazing.
Yeah, slushie again. 4-drop, 5/5 stat line that kills the evasives is crazy. All right, okay. Let's see what else we're dealing with. Let's play. Let's see what they got for Pudge controls the weather. Yeah,
Oh my
see.
gosh.
Okay, so we got daisies, ladies. Okay, so we got the 1-drop Lilo with the Pluto, Stitches, Grandmother Willows, Lilos, Pudge, Stitch. He's playing the Rockstar Stitch version. I see, and again, every time I look
Hmm.
at this, this is what I'm saying though, and it might just
Just a
be.
hyper get out Stitch Rockstar.
Sorry. Um, I just think you lose so much steam. I mean, I get that you play the Daisy and the Lady, but I just don't see how you're able to keep up. I feel like you have to give off so much gas sometimes, and you just
It's all
can't
about getting
do
that guy
that.
out right there.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't get this out, then you just lose.
Yes, I would say so.
Hmm. Uh,
And what sucks is you just have to play so many bad cards to make the combo super good.
you,
Like
this
the
Stitch,
Lilo, the
this
Stitches,
Stitch,
like those aren't inherently good cards, but
but
they,
you need them for the shift. So
and
if
for
you,
the Pudges, yeah.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You go Lilo turn one, drop 4 Pudges, and then you play a Tramp. Alright, that's cracked.
To find the Rockstar Sick, yeah. I can see that.
I just don't see it happening a lot, and I think that might be where my worry is. Is it comes down to consistency.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. Okay. Rockstar Stitch version. All right. Let's look at one more. Okay. Actually, this will be a good one. We can
This is what
see.
yeah.
Yep. We can see what everybody's starting to cook up in the kitchen. Daisies, of course. We got the Lilo. Rhinos. We're playing shift
They're playing shit,
rhinos.
Brian. Love
Okay.
it.
Angel. I do like this Angel.
Card's broken.
Docs. We got this Lilo, which we got whole new
Rule
rule
change.
changes on for it. Uh, okay, we get this one. Playing the ladies. Nani. Okay, I can definitely see that taking
Nani,
over.
I've heard it's been a really MVP for the Ember Steel decks.
I mean, this card right
It
here.
gets you a dock.
It's huge. Lilo Rockstar. Also, I definitely didn't see this card in the previous Dogs deck that we looked at that was playing Rockstar Stitch, but I do think that this card is, if you wanted to play some
Oh
crazy
yeah.
version, this is again shifting 4 in this type of deck. Being able to get this girl out is crazy, and he's playing Wisdom of the Willow. This
You
guy's
just
going
gotta have that card go off
crazy.
once.
Yeah, I have a same thing with people discussing this in Dogs. This is such a like
Win more card.
it's yeah, that's exactly what I would call it. It's a win more. When I draw this card, if I have the board that's going to draw me 4 or 5 cards, that is correct. If I draw this card and all I needed was to draw a 2-drop Quester to be able to play it and say go to win the game, I would be livid. Um, but I like this list. This is a pretty good list. Um,
Yeah, I think Ember Steel is definitely just super strong.
absolutely. And again, they're pretty much being able to play Steel Song in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if it's back. Let's see if we can find one
Alrighty.
little juicy. Ooh, okay, we'll look at this one just real quick, since it's up.
This looks
Blue
like it's gonna be a Todd
green
deck.
Toddy Todd. We got Flynn
4 Corella
Riders.
DeVilles. That's what I'm noticing right off the top.
Playing the Goofies. This is the Goofy I was talking about.
Hmm.
He's playing Little John, okay, and then he's so this is pretty much okay. I see.
A
He's playing
combo with
Alice.
Todd and looks like you're just trying to get the Todd or Little John and combo out.
Yeah, because he's
So you
also
got like
playing Metal
Helping Hand.
Heroes as well. So yes,
Yep.
definitely trying to do that. If you can pop this off once on a blue and be able to quest, Redium quest, getting 10 on it, and then same thing with Todd. Just targeting him with improvise, helping hand, or education of elimination. Oh my gosh, if you could get this card out, mm,
This deck just looks like it loses so heavy to aggro though.
I feel like you'd have to just pretty much just race him and hope to
Yeah.
God that you got like you were able to get Todd out on a shift Todd and be able to improvise him and helping like double improvise. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah. To clear the board.
yeah. Oh my gosh. No, that's a fun deck. Okay, I can see it. I like to see this kind of stuff though.
Oh yeah, that looks fun.
Well, alrighty.
It was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, brother. Again, this has been a great episode. Definitely looking forward to next week. This weekend coming up is going to be Winter Spell pre-release. Hopefully, everybody has a store, a local game store that they're going to be able to go to, be able to get the pre-release. My man Luffy's in the building. Where's Hudson?
Gotta come by every episode.
Always. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will definitely see you next time.
Have a
Take
great one.
take care.